Right, I'm ready whenever you are.
Whenever you want to.
Hello and welcome to Into the 99, where we have 99 cards because Commander's number one. I'm your hostess, Lotus, for another episode of Brewing It Live. Today, Han couldn't make it, so I have the next best thing. I have one of the other hosts of Into the 99, Dan. Say hi, Dan.
Hey guys, how's it going? Yeah, as you know, if you've seen the show before, we're going to do some deck brewing. So Lotus, explain the format here.
So, with the help of you guys in chat, who will be here soon, I hope, we will brew Omnath, Locus of Rage from scratch. And I'm sure you have some ideas, Dan, and I'm going to try and confuse you.
I'm very interested to see how you would have gone and built this one. Because, yeah, I like...
You won't know. So we'll get down to what Omnath Locus of Rage is. So it's a red, a green, a white, and a blue for a legendary elemental 4/4. When Omnath enters the battlefield, draw a card. Landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, gain 4 life. If it's the first time this ability is resolved, if it's the second, add red, green, white, blue. And if it's the third time, deal 4 damage to each opponent and each planeswalker you do not control. It's a very powerful card.
Omnath has such a cool ability.
Yeah. So, as you are the first time being on the show, I've already put 36 lands in the deck because that's an average that we do. We can go up, we can go down. But it just gives us a good old starting point.
36 is crazy.
I know you don't like it that much, but deal with it.
It's an interesting amount of lands. Yeah, I'll let you start it off. I kind of, like I said when we first started talking, I wanted to see exactly how you decided you want to do this because I'm very interested.
That's fair. So let's start things off. If you have an Omnath deck, you want to put more Omnaths in. So let's go put Locus of Rage in. It's a 3 red, red, green, green elemental 5/5 with landfall. When a land enters the battlefield, put a 5/5 red and green elemental creature token into play. And when it or another elemental dies, it deals 3 damage to target creature or player. I thought that was a good one to start us off.
Yeah, Omnath definitely functions really well with Omnath.
And then what goes better is another Omnath. So we could put Locust of the Royal in.
I was going to say, did you choose Omnath in a river?
Angry Wet Jelly Bean, yes. So 1 green, blue, red for a 3/3 elemental. When it enters the battlefield, it deals damage to any target equal to the number of elementals you control. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on target elemental you control. If you control 8 or more lands, draw a card. I think that's a good start.
I like Omnath just in general. All of the Omnaths. I'm still waiting for 5-color omnipotent Planeswalker Omnath. I think that'll be a good time.
Yeah, I mean, we still need a 5-color Omnath.
Yeah, that's as soon as he gets the black mana, Planeswalker for sure.
Yep, that's his spark. So, Ashen, if you have some Kamigawa stuff... Oh, you already did. Azusa Lost But Seeking is one that Ashen wants to put in.
Yeah, those extra lands definitely are very, very good.
Have you thought how I'm building this deck yet?
Nope, not at all. It looks like you're going landfall creature based.
Ah, landfall, you say? Oh, how wrong you are. I'm going elemental tribal.
Elemental tribal. I went a totally different way with what I wanted to, and basically, as soon as we started talking about it, I went all for lands. Everything that lands matter deck. I love lands. I made a real list, and the first card on mine is one that you don't see. I looked in all the EDH rec lists, so I didn't see it at all. It's Maze's End.
Maze's End?
Maze's End.
Okay.
So, I'll quickly explain my reasoning for Maze's End. Omnath's ability triggers on that second landfall to give you 4 mana. It is such a good ability. Maze's End has the ability to tutor your library 4 lands and puts one back into your hand, so you're always holding one to be able to get out.
Now I understand, and that makes perfect sense.
So already on its face, it's very good. It's a really, really good color-fixing card if you need to be able to get other things out. It can go fetch your guild gates, which is important. But it's also a really, really sneaky win condition in it because there is so many ways to, like I said, I went entirely into just like lands and fetching lands and a lands matter and a lands really matter deck. And so, yeah, like I said, I went the Guild Gates for really, really cheap color fixing, and I went Maze's End just so I can always trigger that landfall ability to get that 4 mana.
No, I totally agree. That's actually something really good. Ashton's also said if we're doing elemental tribal, then Baduka Gardener is perfect.
And which one is Baduka Gardener? I think that's the flip one, right? It puts, I believe it puts a land in. Am I crazy?
I am just trying to find it. Yes, here it is. So it is one of the old flip cards. On the first side, it is a 1 and green. Tap. You may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. If you control 10 or more lands, flip it. And then on the flip side, it's 4 green, and tap, create an XX green elemental creature token where X is the number of lands you control.
I like it.
That's doing pretty good. See, my next card I was going to suggest was Risen Reef.
Yeah, Risen Reef's very good.
Mainly because I knew you were going to do landfall, and I was going to go completely the opposite direction, because that's what we do here.
You give me a landfall-based commander, I'm immediately going into the landfall side of it.
That's why I looked at the other side of it. So Risen Reef is a 1 green-blue elemental 1/1. Whenever it or another elemental enters the battlefield under control, look at the top card of your library. If it's a land, put it into the battlefield tapped. If you don't put the card onto the battlefield, put it into your hand.
That's a good one.
It doesn't even matter if it's a token or not, which is amazing. So we can get the triggers off that. We can get triggers off everything, really.
I also put my favorite land Harmonicon in because, like I said, I went landfall tribal. So I'm pretty sure that Green Warden, Ancient Green Warden, I think it's an elemental, so it might fit your theme. But doubling up that trigger of the 8 mana, ooh.
Yeah, 4 green for an elemental, 5/7 with reach. Play lands from the graveyard. If a land entering the battlefield causes a trigger ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. So
honestly,
you want ETBs?
Oh, it's me. There's Field of Dead's on the list for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, you can just knock that one right out of the park. Field of the Dead's definitely going to be there.
Okay, let's put Field of the Dead in because
why not?
Yeah, I mean, if we're having 4 different colors in our commander, it's just going to happen, isn't it? Yeah, don't even have to try.
Field of the Dead is such a good card just in general. I run it in everything that can make use of it because I just can't not get enough of how good that card is. They never should have printed a card that powerful. So silly. And like I said, with Maze's End, yeah, you want to dump lots of lands in, but anyone who sits across from this is going to see an Azusa. They're going to try and get rid of it. You really want to be able to trigger that 2 lands every turn for that 4 mana. That 4 mana, it's a lot. It's a lot of mana. It color fixes for you. So Field of the Dead triggers going off twice a turn as well. Love it.
Yep. No, I totally agree. So we also want our elementals to trigger things like Risen Reef. Mm-hmm. But what if we could make them trigger landfall at the same time?
Are you going for an Ashaya?
Yep. Of the Wild. Yeah.
Yep, Ashaya is a good one.
Ashaya is amazing. Just hope we don't get Blood Mooned.
Blood Moon is a great interaction with it. We'll one day go over the depth of how good it is. We have a bit of
history over this. Don't worry about it.
Titania is really, really good from the chat there, Ashen.
Oh, Priest of Titania?
No, Titania. I think it's like Priestess of Agroth or something. I can't remember what exactly it is. It's the actual legend of Titania.
Oh, Titania, Protector of Argoth.
Yeah,
3 green elemental. 5/3. When it enters the battlefield, return target land card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Whenever a land you control is put into the graveyard from the battlefield, create a 5/3 elemental. That's some good value right there.
All about what you like, right?
Definitely. That's suiting my playstyle and your playstyle.
Mm-hmm. I also, in my list of cards, I put Amulet of Vigor. I assume we're fetching a lot of lands. We want to trigger that ability, like I said. So any of your Cultivate, Farseek, any of those things that are going to put your lands into play tapped, you want them untapped as much as you can.
Yeah. Also, if you're doing like bounce lands and things.
Yep. The Karoo
so we can
lands.
have like a Grawl Turf. You can put that in, untap it, bounce another one. If we're playing multiple a turn, put that one in. Just seems like really good value.
If you're going elementals, Royal Elemental, I believe.
Is that the blue one?
Yeah.
Yes, this is the one we spoke of on last week's Brewing It Live. This one is 3 blue, blue, blue for elemental with flying, 3/2. When a land enters the battlefield under your control, gain control of target creature for as long as you control Royal Elemental.
Yeah.
I think we're going to make a lot of salty people out there.
That's part of the game, though, right?
Yeah, making Brian salty.
Geode Ravager. I can't remember which one is that. Is that landfall 1 damage to each opponent?
Geo Ravager?
Yeah, Ashen mentioned Geode Ravager. Or Geode Rager. I think it's Ravager. I don't know. I could be wrong. Oh, it is Geode Rager.
Rager, 4 red, red. Elemental, first strike, 4/3. When it enters the battlefield, goad each creature target player controls.
Oh, that's the one from the Oboon deck. I also put in Oboon.
Yes. Oboon?
Yes.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, so I like things that you can do with that Omnath mana, and Oboon is a great target for it because the path that I'm going to go down with a bunch of my remaining cards is, you'll see why Oboon's in the deck. But
okay,
just the ability to get weird costed cards into play. I really like that with Omnath's ability.
I mean, yeah, you can get all 4 colors from that ability, so it makes casting so much easier.
Yeah, I with the amount of ramping you'll probably be doing in a deck like this, triggering 4 land a turn or 4 mana, playing ramp spells, playing big elementals, you're kind of going to run out of cards pretty easily.
Yeah.
So, of course, Lotus Cobra. We'll get to that one. Don't you worry.
No, it's a Lotus.
It's got to be in there.
I don't care.
We'll get in there.
Anything Lotus arranged. Drop everything, put it in.
Lotus Cobra is such a good ability to landfall of 1 mana of any color. Also, like I said, I really like the weird costed abilities that you can do with this stuff, and you really do need to color fix with it a bit. There's going to be some cheaper ramp things we'll go into in a bit, like I said, on my side. But what I was saying is that you need to be able to draw. You're going to run out of a hand really, really quickly. I play ramp and landfall is like my favorite mechanic. I talk about it all the time. Field of the Dead's like my favorite card to play. But you very often just run out of things to play. If you have 10 mana out on turn 4 or 5, you usually don't have things in your hand, right? Unless you're playing like a Dragon Tribal deck. So I would put in something like a Horn of Greed.
Ooh.
A Horn of Greed, a Rite of Flourishing to trigger that extra lands to get me the extra draws. Because we're going to need to draw in a deck like this.
Yes, every time a player plays a land, you draw a card.
Mm-hmm.
That seems fair. See, my kind of draw package that I was thinking of was a Guardian Project.
Yep. Well, especially if you're triggering so many creatures.
Yeah. Also, so now this is where my judge brain kicks in. Oh. So Ashaya makes all creatures forest lands in addition to their other types.
But they aren't named forest.
No, but they're forest types.
Mm-hmm.
So when Ancient Green Warden says if a land entering the battlefield causes a triggerability of a permanent, Guardian Project would trigger twice.
Yep.
So that's actually pretty good.
I like that. Yeah,
I'm quite happy with that.
Guardian Project's a great one. Garruk's Uprising is another one that is a solid one. That or... I can't remember the name of it. It's an enchantment. It's if you control a creature 4 or more at the beginning of your upkeep, draw one.
So we'll put Garruk's Uprising in. The other one that I know,
Elemental Bond. Thank you.
Yes, because Garruk's Uprising is 4 or greater, where Elemental Bond is 3 or greater. However, Garruk's Uprising gives us trample.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, as you say, I think we're going to need all of it.
Well, yeah, because like I said, you're going to run out of cards pretty quickly because we're going to be ramping really, really hard.
Yeah. Now, the other one that I would always run in a green deck is the Great Henge.
That's a great card. I just have never been super excited about it. It seems like it does so much, and maybe that's why I just don't ever play it too much, because it's solid on every front. It's ramp, it's life gain, it's mana. It's also draw,
it's 7 green, but it costs X less for the greatest among creatures' power you control. It adds double green and gains 2 life. Whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, you put a +1 counter on it and draw a card. I'm not sure why this isn't in my Merfolk deck, actually.
Yeah, Great Henge is, like I said, it's just a card that does so much, and maybe that's why its price has stayed so consistently high.
Yeah, it's expensive.
Yeah, but it has so much stuff built into it. I'm looking at your list of lands. It's just so offensive. You got 36. It's all basics. What are you doing over there?
We go up and down.
That's fair. That's fair. Like I said, I went into a lands matter deck. So we're going to go into the ways to get those lands. Tempt with Discovery. It's like my favorite thing to try and convince the whole table to go get it. At its worst, it's going to get us one of the lands that we actually care about, which to me would be Field of the Dead or Maze's End, because I can trigger so many things with those cards. And at best, it gets so many things.
Yeah.
I love Tempt with Discovery.
Most people are tempted, to be fair.
You're playing Horn of Greed. I don't know if we put in Rites of Flourishing, stuff like that. Like, this is a group hug deck that just happens to make a lot of elemental tokens to overrun the table.
I mean, we can put Rites of Flourishing in if you want.
Oh, extra land, draw. It's everything we want.
Yeah, why not? Are we making enough mana? That's the question.
Well, you have to remember that with Omnath, every time you get your second land, so every, like I said, Cultivate, Explosive Vegetation, any of those spells, you're gonna, a lot of the time they pay for themselves, right? Tempt with Discovery, if you have the 4 mana to cast it, can cast your next ramp spell. Or vice versa, if you've just played 2 lands, you free Tempt with Discovery.
Yeah.
So even
I was more thinking of another elemental.
Go on.
How about Nyxbloom Ancient?
Oh, Nyxbloom Ancient's always good.
Yeah.
But here's we're already running into the problem. You don't run X spells.
Well, maybe this is where you come in.
Yeah,
maybe where chat comes in.
Yeah, we definitely have to run the X spells in a deck like this. You're going to have so much mana available.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot, especially with Omnath's ability, with us recycling lands from the grave, with Land Harmonicon.
I would 100% for sure put in Genesis Wave.
Obsidian Fineheart as a mana sink.
Yeah, I think it's 1 triple red, and it lets you put like counters that deal damage at the beginning of upkeep triggers. It is good, but you'd be hard pressed to actually get its ability off as much as you'd like. 1 double red, sorry. Put a blaze counter.
1 double red. Put a blaze counter on target land without a blaze counter on it. For as long as that land has a blaze counter on it, it has at the beginning of your upkeep, this land deals 1 damage to you. So you put it on your opponent's lands?
Yep.
Okay. Let's pop that in for now. What was the X spell that you said, Dan?
Genesis Wave.
Genesis Wave. X, green. Sorcery. Reveal the top X cards of your library. You may put any number of permanent cards with converted mana cost X or less from among them onto the battlefield. Then put all cards revealed this way that weren't put onto the battlefield into your graveyard. You're just going to empty your deck, aren't you?
Yeah, pretty much. But that's you get so many elementals. I'd also run Nylia's Intervention. On the off chance we're playing against like an Angel tribal deck, it gives us that ability to wipe the flyers. But again, it lets us go get specifically land cards, not basic land cards, any land card, and we need to go get land cards.
Was that one?
Nylia's Intervention. NYLEA.
Oh, yes. This is the only X spell in my Merfolk deck. Yes.
You need so many more of them.
Yes, I'm going to redo the Merfolk deck. Don't you worry.
Just make a second Merfolk deck that's all X spells?
Not all X spells, just a few more. Knight of Barwa. Much like there's always room for Jello, I think there's always room for Triumph of the Hordes because Infect. Seriously, Infect.
Infect is good, but is it good enough?
I mean, what I'm tempted to do is so Triumph of the Hordes. Where are we? There it is. Just for the sake of that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in a maybe board.
Okay.
It won't count to our 100, but it's there if we need it.
You're making Token Swarm. It's true. I would also, like I said, I love things to actually do with the mana. I'd run Luminarch Ascension. We're very, very light on our white cards right now.
Making the Angels.
Yeah.
Yeah?
2 mana, we can definitely, with Omnath's ability, we can trigger that, gives us at least half of his mana to sink into stuff, and then Again, we have so much color fixing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. I love Luminarch Ascension. This is actually a deck, by the way, that I wouldn't necessarily even run Soul Ring in, because like you're looking for good ramp and stuff, but it's not getting the same benefit it gets when you can get a commander out early. Like, you need things more to get Omnath's colors off, and it's such a weird segment of colors that I just personally, it's okay, but I'd run more of the pips.
Yeah, so Ashen doesn't like Soul Ring in any deck. But
preach it, Ashen.
This is specifically I wouldn't even say a mana rock deck. I would prefer to run all of the search spells. I
would run the
like
search
Nature's
spells.
Law.
Yeah, and I think I think when you're running something like this, like you said, exactly, the low mana ramp is really, really solid. And I also think things like Noble Hierarch, Birds of Paradise, I think that those are really, really going to shine in something like this.
Yeah.
And land tax.
Oh, the Secret Lair Birds of Paradise is so good.
I do love that Secret Lair.
And Noble Hierarch's just been reprinted as well, hasn't it?
Yeah. I think it's
Double Masters.
Still a fairly pricey-ish card, but again, the triple color fix at 1 mana and Exalted. It's not an elemental, I get it.
Well, do you remember when we were talking about Merfolk?
Mm-hmm.
And there was a Merfolk that got Merfolk to the top of the deck?
Yep.
There's one for elementals.
Okay.
Flame King Harbinger. 1 white for a 1/1 elemental shaman. When it enters the battlefield, you may search your library for an elemental card, reveal it, shuffle your library, and put it on top.
I like it.
Just a nice little simple one. There's also, if you're going still on the Birds of Paradise thing, just want to put in Smoke Braider.
Smoke Braider, that's one I don't know.
Smoke Braider, 1 and a red for a 1/1 elemental shaman. Tap. Add 2 mana in any combination of colors to your mana pool. Spend this mana only to cast elemental spells or activate abilities of elementals.
2 mana of any color, that's phenomenal to get Omnath out.
Yep.
I definitely
So 2 mana Dork.
Yeah.
Just a few little fun cards for you. Deadeye Navigator and Dockside Extortionist.
That only works in competitive when everyone has 3 mana crypts.
I mean, that is a definite good combination.
It actually, though, if you have a Shia, it's a pretty good combination because you get your infinite land bounce.
Oh, maybe that is a good choice, actually.
I'd maybe board it and see.
Let's get a Deadeye Navigator. I mean, it's a spirit, so it can be an elemental in spirit. And a Dockside Extortionist. A little old goblin pirate. Yeah. Wow, we've racked up some cards already. We're at 69 cards. Wow.
Yeah, there's definitely a ton that we'll be able to. I really, really like Once Upon a Time. It's like one of my favorite opening hand cards right now.
I've never really thought about using this in Commander.
I use it so much. It's such a solid card. The ability to dig for, I believe it's creatures and lands. Is it not? I always use it for lands.
So 1 and a green for an instant. If this spell is the first spell you've cast this game, you may cast it without paying its mana cost. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature or land card from among them and put this into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom in a random order.
Yeah, I just love it. It gives us the chance to maybe get one of the colors we're missing, or get one of the dorks, or something important to us, and it's a free spell. Who doesn't like free spells?
No, I know. And talking of free spells, if we're running so many elementals, what about Reflections of Litjara?
Yep.
Yeah, thanks the Han Shop for subscribing, even though you're my regular host. So Reflections of Litjara, 4 and a blue enchantment. As it enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Whenever you cast a spell of the chosen type, copy that spell. So that will copy all of our elemental creatures. I think that will do nicely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
There's we're light on our ramp. We're way lighter on ramp than I want to be. So I would throw in some of our cultivates. Ooh, Nature's Will is a great card. And Winter Orb. What kind of a monster would build this?
I that one.
This is a
Nature's
land.
Will. Whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, untap all lands that player controls and untap all lands you control.
Yeah, so give them the tap down, untap all yours. That's pretty solid. You should be able to actually get through with Nature's Will. I like that.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I'm not so sure on Winter's personally.
What kind of a monster does he think we are?
You're definitely that monster.
I do definitely like those ones.
What's that?
Averna the Chaos Bloom. The Cascade one. I don't know. I don't think I would so much go into. Am I thinking the right one? The Chaos Bloom. Although you are able to get a lot of really, really cool. You'd be able to get a lot of cool interactions because you have so much free mana. But does Averna...
green, blue, red, 4/2. As you cascade, you may put a land card from among the exiled cards onto the battlefield tapped, and it is an elemental.
You can put, what was that? Sorry, a land?
So as you cascade, you may put a land card from among the exiled cards onto the battlefield tapped, but it doesn't do cascade itself.
Yeah.
And we don't have any other cascading things.
Sadly.
I know you wanted to add some silliness.
I would run. Yeah. I'd run honestly like a exploration. It's another great turn 1 drop in a deck like this.
Yeah, exploration. Play additional lands.
Yeah, you always need more lands.
Definitely. You say that we're running low on white, so I like using this card as 2 effects. So Path to Exile.
Mm-hmm.
So it's great creature removal for someone that has a creature that we want removed. Or if we want an emergency land drop, we can exile one of our tokens.
I like that. White has solid removal. We're really light on removal itself, actually. Maybe a Return to Dust.
Return to Dust. So that one is 2 white, exile target artifact or enchantments. If you cast this during your main phase, you may exile up to 1 other artifact or enchantment. Now, I agree, that should go in. However, my favorite removal in that way is Barrier Breach.
Okay.
2 and a green, exile up to 3 target enchantments, and it has cycling 2.
Barrier Breach is solid. Let's run that one because you don't see that one very often. And I think we're going to be a lot heavier on our green. As our general mana base. Like, I think, just looking at it, I don't think we're going to be running too much of the other colors so far. We're very heavily skewed green.
Yes, we are. We have hardly any white, and we have over, I'd say, 60% green.
Yeah, so we're going to want that. Let's get it out of the way. I want to put every one of the guild gates that we can put into the deck. Okay.
Okay, so we have Azorius. We have Gruul. This is
let's see if you can name them all. Some brain power here?
Some brain power. Azorius, Gruul, Selesnya.
I think there should be...
I know how this site works. So we'll have Boros.
Yep.
We have Gruul, we have Izzet, Simic, Golgar? No, we don't have Golgari.
No Golgari there.
Selesnya. I think I've got them all. Let me have a look.
I think there should be 7 in this color. Am I crazy?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got 6.
6? I think there's... it's the colorless one of them. One of them is also a gate. It's a colorless one. It's like a Ruptured Spire. But...
oh, God, yes. It's from...
Gateway Plaza.
That's it. Definitely testing my mental capacity tonight. There we go. I'll put it to 35 lands. You feeling a bit happier?
Oh, no, we're going way lower than that. Don't worry about that. Guildless Commons, another great, the Karoo land. And we're going Guild Gates. I say include the Guildless Commons.
Yeah, okay, Guildless Commons. Shame it's not an actual gate, but...
I wish it was.
Yeah. Yep, that's in there.
Yep.
Awesome.
All right, we need a Vesuva and a Thespian stage. You'll understand soon.
I wondered how... No, I was wondering how you were going to get your 10 things. Vesuva and Thespian stage. I noticed that Hans also mentioned Nissa who shakes the world. Did you want that in there?
We don't have enough forests, I don't think. Like Ashaya is good, but Ashaya is not our commander, so...
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Okay.
Ooh, Scapeshift is good. I would actually, over Scapeshift, though, I'd go Reshape the Earth. Where the ability,
Reshape the Earth?
It's a huge spell, but it gets us 10 lands at 9 mana, and I think that's mana we can hit.
Reshape the Earth. 6 green sorcery. Search your library for up to 10 land cards. Put them onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle your library. Well, there's all 10 gates.
Yeah, so we can't quite hit 10 of the gates. We still need to be able to get them. So we have Oboon who can animate lands.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot of mana available to us. And we have a lot of cool creatures. Rite of Replication.
Rite of Replication. 2 blue sorcery with kicker 5. Put a token onto the battlefield that's a copy of target creature. If Rite of Replication was kicked, put 5 of those tokens onto the battlefield instead. Animate one of the lands, make 5 of them.
Yes. The point I like to do in every deck that I can is see how many Field of Deads I can make.
Okay.
So it is very fun to make so many of them. We have a lot of really, really solid cards as well. Mirage Mirror is another one that I would also want to play. Its ability to copy any of our important creatures, copy things like your Guardian Project or our lands. Mirage Mirror basically can't be beat in a deck like this when it has so many permanent base targets.
Yeah. No, that I understand. Mirage Mirror is a great card.
Hello to Jake.
Hello.
Oh, Progenitor Mimic is also a really, really cool card. Is it an elemental? No, it's a shapeshifter. I was going to say it's an elemental.
I mean, yeah. You may have it enter the battlefield as a copy of any creature on the battlefield, except it has at the beginning of your upkeep. If this creature isn't a token, create a token that's a copy of this creature.
It is very fun to Progenitor Mimic a land, because then the Progenitor Mimic becomes a land that constantly makes itself a land.
That's amazing. For fun, Thrix the Sudden Storm. I actually had that on my list.
Thrix?
Yeah.
The good
Thrix
old uncounterable?
The Sudden Storm. 3 blue for an elemental giant, 4/5 flash flying. Spells you cast with converted mana cost 5 or greater cost 1 generic less to cast and can't be countered.
That's an interesting one.
That's pretty sweet.
How are we on our converted mana cost for them?
So our average is 3.7, but we have Ancient Green Warden at 6, Ashaya at 5, Deadeye Navigator at 6, Geode Ranger 6, Nyx Bloom at 7. We've got a lot.
Traverse the Outlands is such a good card, but we're not going to have the basics for this. We're going lands matter, and basic lands are not the lands that matter.
Sadly.
I would I'd sideboard Obsidian Fireheart. I think it's going to be pretty hard to cast something like that. And when we have those double and triple costs, we already have better targets for it, like the Locus of Rage.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
What was another one I was looking at? So it looks like we're not being very combat centric, but if we do, there are some lords that we can shove in if you want to go that route.
Well, you did say you want to go down the elemental, and so far we're very, very land-based. So what else can we do with the elementals?
So you have Creeping Trailblazer.
Okay.
It's 1 red, 1 green for an elemental 2/2. Other elementals you control get +1/+0 and pay 2 red, green. Creeping Trailblazer gets +1/+1 until end of turn for each elemental you control.
That is a great that is actually a really cool card.
And then the second lord that I was going to suggest is Incandescent Soulstoke. This is a 2 and a red for an elemental shaman, 2/2. Other elemental creatures you control get +1/+1. And 1 and a red and tap, you may put an elemental creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. That creature gains haste until end of turn. Sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step.
That's not too bad. I don't think we're running. It's a great lord, but are we running enough elementals to get them out? To use the ability.
Everything I've suggested is an elemental.
How many do we have so far?
Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Oh, Boone becomes his land becomes an elemental too. Is that
13,
correct?
14. We have 14 elementals.
15 with the commander.
Yes.
So we're not too bad. In the chat there, I don't know if you saw it, but Dionychus, I can't even pronounce it. John, thank you, John. Said Dryad of the Elysian Grove, and I think that's a really, really good suggestion. The color fix, the extra land, can't beat a card like that. I don't know.
Dryad of the. Oh, come on, Architect. Shrine of the Elysian Grove, or as I've renamed it, Naked Man in Tree. 2 and a green. You may pay an additional land on each of your turns. Lands you control are every basic land type in addition to their other types.
For the love of God, Valakut. If everything's a mountain, we can Valakut.
Which Valakut? There's so
Molten
many.
Pinnacle.
Okay.
Landfall. Bolt Brian.
It's in just for that.
It's worth it. It's so worth it.
I just want to see Brian's face now. We're at 82 cards. We're doing well. Doing very well. And Valakut Exploration.
That's a great
I have to
card.
remind myself what that does.
It's one of the new landfall ones. It's really, really good. It exiles cards from the top of your library on landfall, but it also lets you still play the land, so you don't actually wreck yourself.
And at the beginning of your end step, if there are cards exiled with Valakut Exploration, put them in their owner's graveyard. Then Valakut Exploration deals that much damage to each opponent. Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's a pretty solid one for sure.
Yeah, that's a good one. Nice. Are we drawing enough cards?
I think we should have more draw. I'd honestly run something that... Is there any mana sink draw? Like maybe like a Kefnet. Kefnet's not an elemental, but just the ability to... You got to have something to do with your land.
Kefnet the Mindful?
Yeah.
Pay 4, draw a card, then you may return a land you control to its owner's hand. Oh, that does 2 things we want.
Yeah. I think Kefnet's a solid sink. He's also a pretty solid blocker as well.
Yeah, with indestructible flying, and we can just keep bouncing our lands to draw cards and re-trigger our landfall.
Yeah. More draw,
Yeah,
hey? All of my draws all group hug. It's all Font of Mythos and Howling Mine. I put Howling Mine in every deck.
I take it Brian's in the admin, because all I can see is screw you guys.
Yeah, he was saying kill Daniel first, and I said hashtag 15 Field of the Dead.
Just reshape the earth once Valakut Exploration is out. Yeah, I've just noticed how bad that can get, and I'm loving how that's looking.
Oh, Sylvan Exploration as well. Sylvan Shrine. Again, the ability to fetch any land, so important.
Yes.
And crop rotation.
The throwback frame is beautiful on these cards.
True. We also...
crop rotation?
Yeah, you gotta, like I said, there's so many good lands. I personally, like I said, my first target, based on the lands we have right now, I would get something like Maze's End, because we're going to be able to constantly trigger that ability and have it pay for itself with Omnath's ability.
Yeah, that seems rare.
I love
Well of Lost Dreams.
Is that lets you, whenever you gain life, you can pay that much? Is that right?
Well of Lost Dreams, for whenever you gain life, you may pay X, where X is less than or equal to the amount that you've gained. If you do, draw X cards. So
extremely
basically, we gain 4 life off Omnath, pay 4, draw 4.
Yeah, that's very, very good, actually.
Yeah, that's pretty damn good.
Yeah, at its worst case, even if we want to pay 1, draw 1, solid. But on our first land, that's very, very good. That's a good suggestion. Living Twister is lets you bounce lands. Is that correct?
Living Twister.
I believe it's also an elemental.
Red, red, green, elemental, 1 and a red, discard a land card. Living Twister deals 2 damage to any target. Pay a green, return a tapped land you control to its owner's hand.
Yeah, I think that's great protection.
Yeah. I have another card that you might have not heard of. Bright Hearth Banneret.
Love it.
You know this one.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I know the Bannerets.
1 and a red. Yep, 1 and a red for a 1/1 Elemental Warrior. Elemental and Warrior spells cost 1 generic less to play and reinforce 1. 1 and a red. Discard this card, put a +1 counter on target creature. I mean, you don't do that, but if your elementals cost 1 generic less, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, what
are we going to put an Avenger of Zendikar in here?
Oh, of course. How can we even forget it?
Elemental. I'm surprised no one's mentioned it sooner. Just a good card. When it enters the battlefield, create 0/1 plant creature tokens for each land. Landfall. Whenever land enters the battlefield, put a +1 counter on each plant you control. See, I did keep landfall in mind, but I definitely went elemental tribal.
Landfall is just the greatest.
God Eternal Oketra.
Ooh, I do love God Eternal Oketra. It's a great mana sink. Or no, God Eternal Oketra is whenever you cast a creature, you get your 4/4 zombies. Is that right?
Yeah, with Vigilance.
Yeah.
I mean, we are casting a lot of creatures in this deck.
There's another one that I wanted to mention. It's the Kianos and Tiro. That's a really, really popular commander type in these colors, and it does the same thing that we want. It cares about lands, it gives us some draw, and it lets us cast that weird color fixing with
what is it?
Omnath. Kianos and Tiro of Melodius. KYANOAIOS.
There we go.
Oh, Ancient Green Warden's in there. Don't you worry. That was like the first card.
I cannot find that card.
It is spelling wise KYAN.
Yeah.
IA. Let's see if that comes up there.
No.
KYN. Oh, there
we go.
There you go.
There we go. We got there in the end. At the beginning of your end step, draw a card. Each player may put a land card from their hand onto the battlefield. Then each opponent who didn't draws a card.
And you draw as well with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ancient Green Warden, Land Harmonicon is right there. It's one of the first ones we did.
Another one, Tireless Tracker is. We're pretty light on. We're not that light on our creatures actually, but I'd still run Tireless Tracker just so we have that mana sink draw with the clues.
2 and a green, Human Scout 3/2. Whenever land enters the battlefield under your control, investigate. So you can pay 2 and sacrifice the artifact to draw a card, and whenever you sacrifice a clue, put a +1 counter on it. Yeah, 1 card draw. I like that.
What else can we get that gives us good elementals?
Makes us more, or just makes what we've got better?
Makes just more elementals.
Makes more elementals.
What are we at for our cards here?
We are at 93.
93, but we've got a lot of lands there. Don't you worry. We'll cut some of those down.
That's fair. Now, it's not a creature per se, but it does the same thing as Reflections of Lichara.
Yeah.
What about a Lithoform Engine?
Oh, Lithoform Engine would be really, really good. Copy permanents, great. We can't copy our lands with it, very sadly, boo-hoo. But we can copy spells, permanents, and I believe triggered abilities.
Activated or trigger, so we can copy Omnath's abilities.
Yeah. Try and play a Super Friends deck against this. I dare you.
Yes, we have crop rotation in there. Our mana ramp at the moment is Nature's Will.
Yeah, we got Risen Reef.
Nature's Law, Sylvan Scrying, crop rotation.
We need to cultivate.
Yeah.
Cultivate explosive vegetation. Let's just get those right out of the way.
Cultivate and explosive veggies. Some gnarly cards has just subscribed.
Thank you. Ooh, Kodama's Reach. I also like that one.
Yes.
3 visits. We're not running enough. I think we're not running enough forests. We'd be getting basic forests with 3 visits. I would put land tax in the deck. Yeah, 3 visits is any forest, but we so far don't have any really dual landy things.
No, I mean we could, but yeah, it might limitate us.
Oh,
but then
Circuitous
Nature's Law
Route
gets us a forest.
Circuitous Route fetches 2 basics or 2 gates.
My favorite knight, Circuitous. Don't worry.
Let's run Triomes.
Right. Okay. So, Da, 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 da. Right, so there is... Oh, which one is it? Is it the Savai? Can't run Savai.
I think
Ketra?
Ketria is
Ketria
tuner.
we can. Zagoth we can't. Indatha
I think that is
we
the other one.
can't. And Rogrin
Yeah, Rogrin
we
is
can.
the white one, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we can run them.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, still at 36 lands. That's good.
What do we have? So we're gonna need what's our basic land count sitting at?
Basic land is 5 forests, 5 islands, 5 mountains, 6 plains.
Okay, so yeah, land tax is definitely a go for that one. A great
Really?
turn 1 drop. Oh yeah. You got to remember that we're just trying to, because land tax will fetch you any basic lands, and we just need to hit those colors for Omnath. Once the machine is on, we don't care about it, right? So pulling those basics out of our deck early is so vital.
That's fair. That's something I wouldn't have actually thought of myself personally. And it's $90 or $31. I don't know. There's something wrong there.
Land taxes, yeah.
But yeah,
it's pricey.
It's a good card.
I would run as well. We need some things that are going to get us some lands out. So our, I would say Terramorphic Expanse, Evolving Wilds kind of things. Those are also cards that are going to double trigger Omnath.
I would say that, but I would probably go with Fabled Passage.
Oh, fancy.
Fabled Passage is just the upgraded version.
I'm well aware of what Fabled Passage is.
So I would say probably Fabled Passage over at least one of them, and
Fabled and a Terramorphic, yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty good. So we're at 38, so we'll drop 2 planes because we don't need them. Yeah. Oh, Uro. Oh, Uro's amazing.
And an elemental.
I don't think it is.
I'm pretty sure.
Elder Giant.
Elder Giant. Yeah, well, I was wrong.
1 green blue for an Elder Giant. When it enters the battlefield, sacrifice it unless it escaped. When it enters the battlefield or attacks, gain 3 life, draw a card, then you may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield and it escapes for double blue, double green. I like that.
That's a good one.
I decked myself so many times playing that card in Modern. Okay.
What are we looking at for lands here? Or for total cards?
Total cards, we're exactly 100.
Okay.
So it's now seeing if there's anything that you'd prefer in or not. Harrow is a sack land and gets 2 on the battlefield.
Yeah, Harrow's a solid one. Gets us 2 basics. At instant speed as well, which is pretty good if we need other mana.
Yeah. Let's drop another planes.
I'd put the other, the land fix guy in Timor. What's his Rattleclaw Mystic?
What's that?
Rattleclaw Mystic, he is 1 on the green, and he taps for 1 of any of the Temur colors.
Oh, this dude. Yeah. 1 taps for green, blue, or red, and it's a morph. When it's turned face up, add green, blue, red.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet.
Another card that I like to run in these colors when I'm able to is Fractured Identity. Oh, Zendikar's Royal is a great card. I don't know why we forgot that one.
Fractured Identity, exile target non-land permanent. Each player other than its controller creates a token copy of it. Yeah.
So,
what was the other one?
The other one was Zendikar's Royal. It's a great landfall card. It's an enchantment.
Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, create a 2/2 elemental. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, and it's elemental. It's exactly what we want. The reason Fractured Identity is we have so many things that are global effect that are really good, like a Rites of Flourishing, for example, right? It doesn't hurt us to exile our own and then give the whole table one and play 3 or 4 lands a turn.
Okay, yeah, that seems fair. Yeah.
Yeah, stuff like that. Or if someone else has like a really, really powerful card on deck, it's exile that's built in for us. It's also the ability to, like I said, double up on anything that if someone plays anything remotely group huggy, then we're solid.
No, I like that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we're at 103. I don't know if you see any cuts or switches at this moment in time. There may be fair. The maybe board doesn't count towards the 100, so we're at 35.
I'd cut Nature's Will. Honestly, I don't think we're going to use it as much as we want to.
Nature's Will, yeah.
Nature's Will over to the maybe board. It's pretty good, but I think we're trying to do more with some of our cards here. We want things that bring cards in. Yeah, see, John gets it. Take out 8 or so lands, build it CEDH. We'll throw a lot of pips and a mana crypt in.
Wow. My playstyle is so different to yours.
I would run right around 33, 34 lands in something like this. I would not go.
So, okay.
Lands matter, but not that much.
Okay, so we can cut.
Oh, Tatiova's a great card.
How did we miss that?
Yeah, Tatiova's an awesome card.
Yeah, 3 blue and green for a Merfolk Druid 3/3. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, gain a life and draw a card. Yeah.
How often do you play Guided Passage?
Guided Passage?
It's a card that doesn't see too much play, and I really, really like Guided Passage.
Blue, red, green for a sorcery. Reveal the cards in your library. An opponent chooses from among them a creature card, a land card, a non-creature, non-land card. You put the chosen cards in your hand, then shuffle your library. I need a copy of that weird card.
It's a very, very fun. So at its worst, you get land, creature, non-land, the worst cards in your deck. That's everyone's like, oh, well, they're going to pick the worst things. Well, everything in your deck should be a good enough target for that.
Yeah. I mean, I know that if you don't have the money and you're binder diving, you're going to have just filler cards, but at some point when you make your deck a tuned deck, every card should be doing something.
Well, the other thing too is that you can really, really politics with this card. I can say, hey, Lotus, I know that you're having a problem with Brian's propaganda. Go and get me my Barrier Breach. I want my Vesuva, and I won't attack you for 2 turns. You pick the creature.
Yeah, and that's one thing I think we need to do more as Commander players is more politics.
Yep.
So, yeah.
AC is really good as well, the draw on landfall. Fires of Invention's great, but Fires of Invention's pretty fun. But I don't know. Because you can only play to the number of lands. You don't have enough expensive stuff is the problem. Whereas AC definitely really, really goes off.
Yeah, so you may play an additional land on each of your turns. Whenever a land enters the battlefield, you may draw a card. We are drawing so many cards.
Draw's the best mechanic.
It is. That's why I can't play Uno. Now, do we need to sort of refill our library or actually have a win con with no library?
The win con is so many Field of the Dead triggers.
Okay, that's fine, as long as we are in agreement.
We do have a lot of tokens, so a good finisher. The Infect is a great one. They were right. It is a good rollover. I think it was Ashen that said it. It's right. Yeah, Kozilek could be fun.
Yeah.
Triumph of the Hordes maybe should be in. Oh, we can run Cather's Crusade.
Oh,
and Scoot Swarm. Why are we not running Scoot Swarm? What are we doing?
Right, okay, so Cather's Crusade, whenever a creature enters the battlefield under control, put a +1 counter on each creature control. That's fine. However, I want to suggest this one. Eladar Retreat instead.
Yep, landfall, so cat tokens,
or the +1 counters on landfall. So it's 1 mana less, and we get the option between tokens or +1 counters. And they gain vigilance until end of turn.
What's the landfall triggers?
On Eladar Retreat?
Yeah.
Whenever a land enters the battlefield, create a 2/2 cat beast creature token, or put a +1 counter on each creature you control. Those creatures gain vigilance to end of turn.
So much better. Absolutely. Eladar Retreat in.
Yep. Such a better card.
I really like that. We also, like I said, we need Scoot Swarm.
Oh, right, yeah. That's going to break everything.
Rampaging Balos, another great one. Does it make elementals?
Or
it's beast, right?
Balos, I think it makes a 5/5 beast. Rampaging Baloth is 4 green, trample 6/6, landfall, make a 4/4 beast.
That's pretty good.
I mean, it's make big beaters. Okay, so we're at 106, so I think we should start slowing.
Never. I would run some.
We'll be here all day.
Well, we'll do some. We'll do some cuts in a minute. I would personally run another some X spells. I'd get Fall of the Titans so that we can possibly get 2 people out in one go. Oh, Bloom Tender. What are we doing? Bloom Tender and what's Selesnya Bloom Tender?
If you're in chat, Ashen, Selesnya Bloom Tender. Oh, is that Fayborough?
Yeah, Faber Elder.
That's it.
Those are both really, really good, especially with a 4 dedicated color commander. I didn't even think of those.
Yeah, for each color among permanents you control, add 1 mana of that color.
No,
And then
no,
if we've got
Emil.
Ancient...
You settle down, John.
And then if we've got Nyx Bloom Ancient on the battlefield...
12 mana. Gross. All right, so what can we cut down? What do we have a lot of? Let's take a look at our stats here.
Okay, so we're at 109 cards. Our stats are, we have 40 creatures, 33 lands, 13 enchantments, 13 sorceries, 6 artifacts, 6 instants, and our mana curve is at 3.55.
All right, so we've got how many creatures again, sorry?
40.
All right, let's take a look at our creature list. We're pretty creature heavy.
Okay, so did you want to keep the Deadeye Navigator at Dockside Extortionate combo in the main deck?
Nah, let's move them. They're good with Ashaya, but they're not so much the kind of loop we're going for.
That's fair. So that's 107.
We're at 107. We got so many cards. Oof.
It's not bad. Normally, if you watch us, Han puts me to 120.
Nice. Send it away.
Is Thrix something?
I was going to say I don't think we're benefiting enough from Thrix. The double blue, there's definitely not a Cyclonic Rift in there. You don't want me to get sick on stream?
Cyclonic.
No, don't do it. I can't be a part of it. We'll take a look at our lands. We'll upgrade our land base in a minute here, but let's what else do we want to take out? Let's ditch Garrick's Uprising.
Sure.
Horn of Greed, Amulet of Vigor. We've got really solid artifacts, I'd say.
Yeah. Well of Lost Dreams only triggers off our commander.
Rattleclaw, you think we have too much ramp? Let's kick Rattleclaw Mystic then. Actually, yeah, with adding Bloom Tender and the Fabro, then Rattleclaw is just not as solid. I would agree.
Seems good. 104. Doing well.
104.
Is Luminarch Ascension really good now?
Oh, it's so good. 4/4 flyers at mana sync ability.
Yeah, fair.
You know what though? Let's cut it. We've got other things to do with our mana. We're all right.
Okay.
Let's maybe board Luminarch. Let's see where that one goes.
Yeah, it's in the maybe board.
Oh yeah, what are we doing without a Morog?
What? Oh god, yeah.
Luminarch is so good. I love that mana sync.
Morog in this deck's just disgusting.
Morog in every deck is disgusting. Ugh. Such a good card.
Yeah, I can see that.
Let's lose Reflections. I think that we've got enough things. We're not going to benefit. We have a lot of legendary things. Let's lose our Reflections.
Fair. We still have Lithoform Engine, so I'm happy to drop that one. That seems fair. We've got 3 to go. We're at 33 lands.
Did we put in Rampaging Balos?
We did.
Let's cut it.
I'll put it in the maybe board.
Okay. Perplexing Chimera is also really good.
Ooh.
Let's cut
it's
Uro.
Really difficult now.
Uro's
really?
okay. Yeah, it's okay. We're looking at a 3 mana draw unless we're exiling cards from our graveyard. I'd maybe board Uro. He's meh.
That's the first time I've heard Uro being called meh.
I would much rather something like an Oracle of Moldiah, like what was just mentioned there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anything like a Wayward Swordtooth, Oracle of Moldiah. I think we're going to get a lot more benefit out of things that are giving us more lands, right? Oracle gets us an extra land. It lets us look at the top of our library. Solid card.
Yeah, okay.
Uro triggers on attack if he's alive. That means that he's like 9 mana by the time he can attack. Boo.
Do we still need God Eternal or Ketra?
Yeah, we have a lot of creatures, and we're making a 4/4 zombie on every creature cast. But I'd say let's cut it. We're not like Courser of Krufix is really good. I would say let's cut it.
Okay, and now we're down to 101.
101. Nyx Bloom Ancient, such a good.
Yeah.
So I was looking at the Right of Replication. We still do want to be able to copy some of the lands if we can get them animated.
Yeah.
So I would a really, really solid let's first off go to the lands. Let's put in Inkmoth Nexus. We're all animals. It's Infect. It's a fun time.
And to be fair, it is Oh no, I'm thinking of the other one.
So the reason that we want to do Inkmoth Nexus is for the silly thing that I'm trying to do with these gates. We want a Thespian stage the Inkmoth Nexus. Inkmoth Nexus can become a creature. We can Rite of Replication or Progenitor Mimic this Inkmoth Nexus, right? They will become Inkmoth Nexus Thespian stages because it has the ability to copy the land. Then we can turn them into anything else we want. So we can make 10 Thespian stages, make 10 Guild Gates, or 10 Field of the Deads if we're just feeling like making Field of the Deads.
Okay.
Or we can make 10 Inkmoth Nexuses like animals. What are we talking about? Yeah, we have
Royal Elemental.
Yeah, we've got that one in there.
It's hard to see, but we've got the Secret Lair version on there. We're disgusting, and we decided to put that in.
Yep. So what else are we at here for? What are we at for cards?
We're 101, I think. 102 now because of Inkmoth, but I can cut a land for that. That's no problem. So 101.
What would you cut? Let's cut some non-elemental things.
Yeah, I'm just.
I've chosen a lot of cuts. You pick one here.
I want to keep Gilded Passage because it's such a weird card.
Yeah, it's a very, very fun one. Finale of Devastation.
I don't know. I think Circuitous Route because it's a 4-mana card.
But it fetches 2 gates, yeah.
So I'm probably thinking Explosive Vegetation.
Yeah, that's true.
4 mana is a bit too expensive for land search.
But you got to remember, it's 4 mana that's going to generate 4 mana.
True.
So when we're looking at those that way, yeah, we've got Living Twister in the deck. Oh, you mean as a cut?
Living Twist. Oh, yeah, but it can bounce lands to re-trigger our landfall.
Yeah. And if somebody...
Devastation. Ooh, Once Upon a Time to cut.
Once Upon a Time is just such a good search.
Where is it?
That's the 2 mana instant that you can play for free.
Oh, yeah.
The nice thing is you can play it before your turn starts as well in the game. Good old turn 0.
You know what? I would rather.
Oh, I do agree with Ashen there.
Explosive Veggies in and Once Upon a Time out.
I think you're underestimating the Once Upon a Time.
Swap Living Twister for Mina and Den. Mina and Den.
Also bounces
red,
land.
Green. May play additional land. Green and red. Return a land you control to its owner's hand. Target creature gains trample. Ooh, that's pretty good.
At Winter, this is a threat.
Okay, so Living Twister out.
That's
all
so
right,
funny.
so I'll go. Let's put your Once Upon a Time back in. I'm gonna leave. You're a guest. Let's put it in.
It's such a good card. Like you said, you don't play it.
We're at exactly 100 though.
We're at 100 right now. What's our land base looking like?
33 lands. 33 lands.
Does it tell us in the stats? Does it tell us what production we have of each? Because we need more green production than anything.
We have an even split of all 4 colors.
Okay, so we're gonna cut down. What's our basics looking like?
Our basics are 4 forests, 3 islands, 4 mountains, 4 plains.
Let's cut down to 2 plains, 2 mountains.
Yep. Go up.
Go up 1 more forest.
1 more forest.
Yeah, 1 more forest. And let's go down 1 island as well. Oh, no. We're not going up that many forests. Those are going to be for other cards.
Okay. And 1
Yeah,
island,
so we'll do...
Sure.
Yeah, 2... We should have...
We have
2 basics of each,
5
right?
cards.
We have 5 lands. What lands should we put in that we don't have in? So far, we've got Guild Gates. We have Field of the Dead, obviously. We've got our Thespian stage. We have our Vesuva. What other lands should go into it?
Breeding Pool, because then we can search for a forest.
Yep.
Stomping Ground, again, because of the forest. Did you want to go expensive? Tropical Island?
I wouldn't even go so much into the shocks, because we're not going to be able to fast land our commander up, is the problem.
Okay.
Right? So we've got a deck like this, you want to politics like you're not being the problem, And one of the best ways you can do that is with some tapped lands, right? You want to just be, I'm just playing Guildgate, guys. Like, come on, this is my budget deck and stuff. No one's seeing the Maze's End coming, right? No one's seen that we're trying to get a Maze's End off in a 4-color deck instead of a 5-color deck, right?
Yeah.
So we want to stay a little, the fetches are good, but I think we want to stay away from like, I think we want to not go into the like, oh yeah, like Windswept Heath into, like you said, Tropical Island.
Okay.
So like we don't want to be the threat here, right? We don't want the table's attention because we ideally need to turn 3 or 4 to get our commander online, and then we don't want people to blow it up immediately. We want people, like I said, to think that we're not a problem until we are too much of a problem.
Okay, so what about things like the Battle Bond Commander lands?
Ooh, like the Bountiful Promenade, stuff like that?
Yeah. The
commander lands are good, yeah. I would go some Karoo lands so you can bounce a few more things too.
Okay, so you've got Gruul Turf.
I would just pick one of them. I would do the Simic one or the Gruul one. Do we have more blue or do we have more red?
We have...
I think we're pretty solid red too, right?
19 red, 15 blue.
Yeah, so Gruul Turf's
more
good.
Red.
What are we looking like for our lands here?
We have 99 cards. If I put another one in a forest...
Don't put another forest in. What are you, crazy?
No, I'm just making up to 100.
That is a great one. Oboro, Palace in the Clouds.
What? Oh.
It's a really, really fun land. It's very hard to find.
Oh, is that the bounce one?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's shot up in price.
Marasa Root Grazer.
Tap the blue, colorless, return it to its owner's hand. Yeah.
Yeah, very, very solid one. Which is the Marasa Root Grazer? I'm unfamiliar with that one.
Marasa Root Grazer. Marasa Root Grazer is a green and a white beast with vigilance 2/3. Tap. You may put a basic land card from your hand onto the battlefield. Tap. Return target basic land you control to its owner's hand.
Very solid.
That's not bad.
Yeah, let's put that one in and let's see what else we can do.
We have to cut something now for that, so...
Mina and Den's still pretty solid. What else can we take out for it? We've got... I like all our artifacts.
Yeah, it's getting a bit tight now.
We only need one. We only need one to trigger it, and we've got so many things that search for basics that we'll always be able to use that Root Grazer.
Okay, that's fair. Seeing as our basics have basically gone down to about 10, is land tax worth it now?
I mean, yeah. Because like I said, if you get it, you want land tax for the early land tax, so you can just pull those basics out of your deck and fix the colors immediately.
Okay.
Cosmina could be fun. You know what? Let's cut land tax.
There we go.
And let's put a card that we don't see very often in, because we're playing with guild gates. I really, really like Crackling Perimeter. Like I said, it's not a card that you get to see too often, but it has a lot of like really, really hurt people potential, especially if we can copy those guild gates like I really want to.
Tap an untap gate you control. Crackling Perimeter deals 1 damage to each opponent. Oh, that's pretty sweet. Okay. Yeah, no, I like that. Though we're still at the problem at 101. Anyone would think you're talking to Han.
You don't like land tax in there, Ashen? Cut Titania. So we don't really have too many ways to use Titania, but she does make like a lot of elementals, but we're not really killing our lands. Oh, I would definitely always run land tax because, like I said, land tax is a big deck thinner, right? So you're increasing the percentage. How much life gain do you have? Every time you have a land enter, Omnath gains you 4. So absurd life gain.
Yeah.
We should be pretty easy to get into the 60-70 life in this kind of a deck. But
I think Incandescent Soulstoke can come out, to be fair. Other elementals get +1/+1. It's the Lord, but our elementals are like 5/5s and such.
They're already pretty big, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, there we go, 100. You seem unhappy.
Oh no, I'm just looking. It could be a dead card, yes, but you want it as a turn 1 card. If it's in your opening hand, it thins your deck down. So then you're drawing from after like turn 3, you're drawing from like a 92 card deck after your draw, so you're increasing the chance you get everything else. Easy break deck is Kohama.
You told me about this before I even did this stream, and I told you not again.
Yeah, Kodama's pretty easy with the with something like a Field of the Dead, because you just play a bounce land, return the bounce land, put a zombie in, put the bounce land in.
Oh god, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah, you can go infinite with it pretty much, but we don't need to go infinite here, I don't think. I think we're just having a good time.
We are. If you want to do that, put it in.
Yeah, that's true. Did we cut down Titania?
We'll cut Titania now. That puts us at 99, and then we'll put in Kodama, because I'm a filthy, filthy person, and put it back up to 100.
Kodama? Burgeoning actually could be pretty good too.
Burgeoning? Oh, we'll take out Commander and put in Burgeoning then. What's Burgeoning? I need to remind myself. A single green enchantment. Whenever an opponent plays a land, you may play a land from your hand onto the battlefield. Yeah, that's pretty sweet, especially if you got land tax out.
Yeah, I think we've got... What's in our maybe board? Let's see if there's anything we want back. Just a quick maybe board review.
Maybe board is Deadeye Navigator and Dockside Extortionist. Explosive Vegetation, Garruk's Uprising, God Eternal Oketra, Incandescent Soulstoke, Kodama, Land Tax, Living Twister, Luminarch Ascension, Nature's Will, Obsidian Fireheart, Rampaging Balos, Rattleclaw Mystic, Reflections of Lichara, Thrix, the Sudden Storm, Titania, Protector of Argoth, Triumph of the Hordes, and Uro.
Yeah, I'm happy with those cuts. And what did we put in for Kodama? Or take out for Kodama?
Burgeoning.
Burgeoning's good. Let's cut something for Kodama. Kodama's pretty good. He's definitely worth. Okay. Kodama and Luminarch Ascension. I think that card's really good.
Okay, so
those will be my final ones.
Luminarch Ascension. I personally say if you want Luminarch Ascension, we cut Zendikar's Royal.
But Zendikar's Royal gives us the elementals, and we want Valakut the elementals.
Exploration.
Let's cut Valakut Exploration.
Because then it's an enchantment for enchantment.
Yep, okay.
And then you want Kodama back in?
Yeah, Kodama's so fun.
Okay, so Kodama goes back in. I would probably...
What else do we have in creatures that we don't really need?
Tireless Tracker? Do you really want that one?
Oh, Tireless Tracker, so good.
Okay, that's a yes then.
Oh yeah, the Mana Sink Tireless Tracker is probably the one I keep the most.
What about
Maybe
Geode Rager?
Yeah, I was gonna say the Geode Rager. It's really, really high mana cost. It's a very fun card. It's pretty cool, but it's really, really high.
Where's Kodama? There's Kodama. Kodama pops back in. Because
Kodama just gives us so much more. Like the Goat is good, but we're gonna be making lots of tokens. People aren't gonna want to attack us anyways.
3.48 mana cost, not too bad.
Well, and we have a lot of group hug, right? We're pretty friendly over here.
Yeah. Eladamri's Call is not in the deck. I think we don't need to search for creatures, the amount we're going to be drawing.
Yeah, we do have a pretty absurd amount of draw in the deck.
Though, instead of Eladamri's Call, because we're running so many elementals, I did actually put in a Harbinger, which searches for an elemental and puts it on top of your library.
Ooh, Nesting Dragon's also another solid one.
We're never going to get this done, are we?
We're just looking. I like good suggestions.
Nesting Dragon. Whenever a land enters the battlefield, create a 0/2 red dragon egg token with Defender. And when this creature dies, create a 2/2 dragon creature token with Fire Breathing. I'm going to add that straight to the maybe board.
Mm-hmm. I do think that one other card that would be solid in it is Chromatic Lantern. Just the land fix, the tap for any color and stuff. That's the one that I complained on the Merfolk episode about you having. I think that's really, really good in this kind of a deck.
Yeah.
I say let's add that and let's find one more cut, and then I'll leave your deck list alone.
Is the Amulet of Vigor working for us?
Yes, we have so many things that
there's a lot of gates. Yeah, I've just seen it, yeah.
Well, not only that, but all of our Circuitous Root, Cultivate, any of those things. Those untapped is a great great ability. What do we have? We've got so many good... What's nature's lore? Grab us.
A forest.
Let's cut nature's lore.
Done. Yep. Done.
All right, now to humor me, do a few test hands.
Oh, okay. Playtest.
Just want to see if we get anything solid.
Well, that one didn't have any lands.
That's not great.
No.
Ooh, abundance would be good too.
So we've got a Valakut, we've got Triome, we have the Tracker, Tatiova, we have Great Henge, and Elemental Bond.
Not horrible.
And our first few cards, Inkmoth Nexus and Crackling Perimeter. Yeah, we're doing all right.
Let's do one more and just quickly see. I'm not so expensive, but he's got such good cards.
Horn of Greed, 2 lands, Lotus Cobra, Great Henge.
That's the hand we want right there.
Yeah. And then...
Once upon a time, look at your top 5 cards for your free.
Top 5 cards will be Simic Guildgate, Cultivate, Kylos and Tiro, Zendikar's Royal, and Fall of the Titans. So we get a Guildgate.
Guildgate or Kianos if we want him out early.
Yep.
No, we're not going that. Allosaurus Shepherd in a counter package.
Wow. Wow. He's like $200 now, that card.
Oh, Allosaurus Shepherd just keeps going up. It's so good. They never should have printed a card that good.
Reprint already.
It's because all of the competitive monsters took them all. It's us. We're the competitive monsters.
Thanks for joining us, MTG Finance Guy.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think this kind of a deck looks very fun. Like I said, to me, Maze's End is such a fun card to be able to grab and stuff. And the sneaky 3, that's too many. The sneaky gate win, I think, is like a fun thing to be able to play off.
Yeah.
At its worst, it's a pretty cool fetch land for us. At its best, we get like a win that nobody sees coming.
Oh yeah, because we don't have all 5 colors, so they'll be like, yeah, sure, it's just to get the extra lands.
I'm just
out
land
your
ramping.
deck.
I'm just land ramping, guys.
And then, boom, I win. But I'm quite happy with that. Is this how you thought it would turn out?
I did not see the elemental theme, but I think it's cool.
I thought you'd like to see my brewing style.
Yeah, no, I think that this actually would be a really fun deck to assemble and like give a try. And I have almost all of these cards sitting here. There's a few of the elemental ones that I don't have. Maybe
you should build it and visit Into the 99 on a Tuesday with us, and we can see it on stream.
Yeah, maybe I'll come play one of those games. The Great Henge would be a card I don't have sitting in a binder. I have like 2 in decks. Just They're so good. Yeah. It's one of those cards that's so good that, like, I get it. Play something else.
Yeah, it's a good card. But you happy to call it? Yeah,
I think that that's a very fun deck. I think that would be a really, really good time. Mulvaney Acid Moth. Throw a whole land destruction theme in the deck.
Oh, God, no. No.
Strip Mine Lock.
Strip Mine, Ren and 6, and...
Somebody did suggest Ren and 6 earlier.
Oh, God. Yeah, that would have been a good one. But no, I'm happy to call it there. Yeah, this has been really fun, actually, and I'm glad that you didn't see my way of brewing this coming.
I'm pretty sure you saw that.
Your landfall.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you saw that I was coming with Field of the Dead.
Yeah, I saw that you would see landfall on that card and was like, "Yep, landfall. This is how to build this deck." And I was like, "No, let's go over here and build elemental tribal." Which is cool.
Elemental Travel's fun. That Rite of Reflection, there's so many. I think that would be one of the most fun cards to cast in this, especially if you could copy it with your Lithoform. But there's so many good targets for it. If you can target your lands like I want to do, that's really, really fun. If you can target Field of the Dead, even better because it's so good. But there's so many good actual creatures, like your Ancient Green Wardens, your Avenger of Zendikars. Like, hitting 6 Avenger of Zendikars is nuts. Or is it? It's 5? Yeah. 5 Avenger of Zendikars on the battlefield is crazy. Any of those, hitting 5 Feybarrow Elders would be solid alone. Like, there's a lot of really, really solid cards in this deck that would be a great target for that copy. I might even throw a little more copy into the deck, seeing how many, like I said, fun targets there are of it. Mystic Reflection and other things like that. Yeah. The Progenitor Mimic, I think, is a good one. Like, basically, like your... Sorry, there's one more card we've got to put in. It is, what's the one that copies a permanent when it enters? It's 4 mana, it's 2 blue. Someone help me out here.
Oh, Phyrexian Metamorph?
No, that copies artifact. It's Clever Impersonator. Does that as any permanent on the battlefield?
Clever Impersonator, you may have it enter the battlefield as a copy as any non-land permanent.
Any non-land permanent. So I can't get my Field of the Dead with it.
No, especially if we're running a Shire, that's going to be a bit difficult.
I do love that Field of the Dead. The blue enchantment, Estrid's Invocation, it also cannot copy, though. Breaks my heart.
I know, sad.
One of these days, I'm going to hit 100 Field of the Dead tokens. I'm going to make a deck for it.
If you do, I want to play against it and see how it does.
Yeah, it's a lot of zombies. But yeah, no, I'm happy to call it there. Like I said, I can't think of any other ways to get my Field of the Deads off the top of my head right now, so.
Nice. Well, it's been really good brewing this with you, actually, because I've not actually sat down and brewed a deck with you, and I'm actually really stoked for you to do this again with me sometime.
Oh, absolutely. I had a lot of fun. And like I said, I really, really like your brew style of, I am a tribal degenerate, right? So you have to do it with Clone Army? Yeah, exactly. I really like to just build tribal decks in general. So seeing that you still went the tribe, I went Landfall Tribe because, again, I know who I am as a person. But yeah. Like I really, really love it.
Nice.
And
and hopefully you build it and we can play against it. But
yeah, you'll have the deck list in the show notes there, hey?
Yep, the deck list will be, if you're watching it on YouTube, it'll be in the description below. If not, I will post it on the Discord of Into the 99, which you can find on intothe99.com, which is our hub for all our content, including amazing writers. You can go to our see all of our great articles that are written by our well, we've got Hayden and
Dante wrote another one, yeah.
Hayden and Dante write great articles for us. To us in the Discord, suggest new decks. If you have any decks similar to this, you can also suggest, poke me, see what I think of them. I'm quite happy to look at them. And we've also got Patreon and our merch store, which is also in the links below. And
John also makes another good point. We do have a league that we're going to be running pretty soon. We haven't officially announced it, but it's going to be a pre-con tournament. So there'll be a tournament. Prizing is going to be announced fairly soon, but it'll be with the release of Strixhaven. Any pre-con is going to be a legal deck in it. You have to play it. There's going to be some upgrade rules, a point-based system, but it's going to be a really fun time. A lot of games with a lot of really, really fun players. So definitely check that out. And like you were saying, if you're not in the Discord, you're going to want to be, because no entry fee. You'll have a great time, and it'll be a place to play these Strixhaven decks a little bit before you upgrade them. I know we all want to tear them apart and get into them, but maybe play a game or two. Come on. Yeah, I think it actually will be really fun to play not low power Magic, but structured Magic that it was intended by wizards in their design team, not our degenerate ways of brewing. In all honesty, I think that a lot of those new cheap commander decks are really, really strong. Oh, that elf deck, Jesus. Mythos of Aluna will copy Field of the Dead, you say, Han? Go on. Oh, Mythos of Illuna. I know we've already said our sort of thing, but let's have a... You have my attention. Of Illuna. 2 blue. Create a token that's a copy of target permanent. If red and green was spent to cast this spell, instead create a copy that's a copy of that permanent, except that token has, when this permanent enters the battlefield, if it's a creature, it fights up to 1 target creature. Put it in the deck. Run it. I'm putting in the sideboard. I'm not fiddling anymore. It needs to be there. It was meant to be there. Yeah, throw it in the maybe board. It would be in mine. Mythos of Aluna. I'll definitely pick those up. That's a pretty cool card. Yeah. Yeah. I'll let you finish the goodbyes before I keep going with cards. Yeah, I mean, you can chat to us in the Discord, find the links below. Intothe99.com is your one-stop hub for everything that we do, all content. Into the 99 on YouTube to find previous Brewing It Lives with me, Han. Get special guest Zach, and there's an older one, Adventure of Mandasaur built a turtle tribal deck if you like tribal stuff.
And then, as I say, there is the merch store where you can help us out by buying branded merch. So don't just get into the 99, wear it. Otherwise,
thank you guys so much for stopping in and brewing, and thank you for all the great suggestions.
Yeah, it's been very active tonight, and I've been loving every suggestion. Except Brian. Brian's been doing some weird stuff.
Yeah, everyone, if you do play, kill Brian first. It's the right way to do it.
But otherwise, thank you all. Good night, everybody.